I grew up with the 90s TMNT movies, and those are classics in my eyes. I love the first two. Then we got some shitters in the 2000s, and it looked like we were finally getting another good TMNT movie. I was able to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, the new animated movie directed by Rowe and created by none other than Seth Rogan, in theaters for an early screening on last Monday. I was both worried for this movie and excited at the same time. Worried because those live action movies we got in the early 2010s and that animated one from 2007 weren't really my thing. I can't really even get through those movies sometimes with the designs, and just, they're kind of boring. And I was excited because I love Seth Rogan and I think he's so funny, and I love the things he's done in Hollywood and with his career, and I couldn't wait to see him have a passion project like this and put his own twist on the turtles that we love. And so I got the early screening. It was really cool. I saw it in Dolby IMAX. When you walk in, they hand you a poster and a booklet with like information on past movies and different comic book covers and cool little things to look at in there. They also had like Secret of the Ooze bottles and popcorn buckets you could buy, but I wasn't trying to pay extra for those. And so you get in there, and instead of previews, there's actually like a 15-minute little show thing where you have Seth Rogan come on and he tells you thank you for coming to the early screening of his movie, and he shows you like why he was passionate for this project, why he casted these 4 teenage kids, why he really wanted to show the teenage aspect of these Ninja Turtles, and I thought that was cool. You get to hear different things from the different cast members. You get to see who's cast as who. Paul Rudd stole the show, by the way, in this movie, and it was kind of a fun experience. It was something new instead of watching these trailers for 50 minutes before your movie starts. So now getting into the actual movie, I thought the animation style was beautiful. In the pre-movie part, Seth Rogan said that he based the animation style off of if young teenage kids were to draw these turtles in their notebooks at school. And I thought that was pretty cool. I thought maybe it would look too good, it would look a little choppy or a little messy, but it actually worked very nicely, and I put that animation style up there with Spider-Verse animation style. It was very beautiful to watch. The story was pretty cut and paste, you know, normal superhero movie. You have the origin story, you have this villain who is kind of just like the heroes, and then the heroes have to team up and fight this villain. It's very cut and paste, we've seen it before, but it's fun with these teenage feeling turtles. And that is one thing that this movie does very well, is it fully embraces the teenage aspect of these Ninja Turtles. You know, you have those 90s movies, which I hold near and dear to my heart. I watched them as a young kid and I really love them, but they feel like they're maybe 25 in that movie, 22, I don't know. They don't feel like they're 15 years old. Where here, you felt that these kids were 15 years old. And it's cool to finally have that aspect come to life in a movie. The villain, while pretty cut and paste, like I said, was good. Wasn't the most memorable villain, but, you know, it did leave an impact. And it was cool to see not just the turtles in this movie, but many other mutants. There was a gecko, a bat, a rhino, all these different mutants, which I've never read these comics, but I'm sure if you did, I'm sure they're in there. So that was cool to see. Cool to be introduced to some new characters that I enjoyed, especially Mondo Gecko, played by Paul Rudd, a great new character. Funniest part of this movie. Coming to that, the humor is the one thing that I don't think worked for me in this movie. They really tried to let those 15-year-old cast members put their own personalities in these characters and put their own jokes and their own humor, which I can appreciate that. I can appreciate when the adults take a step back and go, we don't know what's going on, we don't know this young culture, let them decide the jokes, let them decide what they want to talk about. And that was cool, but for me, I'm in my mid-20s now, and this TikTok teenage humor, it doesn't really work. I found myself cringing more than laughing at the jokes, and that is the one part that really held this movie back for me. I also feel like when you do jokes based about TikToks or trends or things that, you know, only are in the popularity of our human culture for like 3 weeks to 3 months, it's not gonna last. You watch this movie in 20 years and you're gonna think, what are they talking about? What are these jokes? I don't understand. That's why great comedies like Ferris Bueller and Ghostbusters and Step Brothers, they all live up and they all last, is because the comedy is something you can always relate to. So that is my one problem with this movie. But like I said, the animation style is gorgeous. Even though the story is cut and paste, it is a really good story. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the characters. I'm excited for a sequel, which was teased at the end. We are going to be getting one because I want to see more of these characters. I want to see more of this world. It was a lot of fun. I do think it was one of the most fun movies of the entire year. So, as you can see, mostly positive. I grew up watching these characters on TV. I grew up watching them on movies. And I think it did the characters justice. This may be the best TMNT movie since the first two 90s movies. And that's high praise because I love those. One thing I wanted to mention but I failed to remember while recording this review is that this may be my favorite soundtrack of the year. It's up there with Guardians. Those are my two favorite. And yeah, the music was a high point for this film. So getting into my final thoughts, I would give this movie a 7.5 out of 10. It's up there with the best movies this year. It's just that comedy that kills it for me. If I maybe was 10 years younger, or I understood more of that humor, if I was on TikTok and on these different social media trends, it might have worked better for me. But I could just know that it wasn't written for me, it wasn't spoken for me, and that's okay, because the movie overall as a whole was really good. So 7.5 out of 10, that's a good score for me. As for adding it to my collection, I'm not going to go out and look for it right away, but I love these Turtles movies. I think they're a fun time, and if I can find this one at discount one day, you better believe it'll be in my collection. As for seeing in the theaters, I saw it in Dolby IMAX. It was cool to see it on the big screen with the biggest speakers. I don't think it really lends itself to it. Like when I saw Oppenheimer in Dolby Sound, you could feel the bombs in the room shaking. With an animated Turtles movie, might not be necessary, but I do think you should go check this out in theaters, especially with the current strikes going on. I think we need to support these creators and these actors as much as we can, so please go check it out in theaters. Please go check out all these movies in theaters. Don't wait for streaming. That's my overall thoughts on this. Thank you all so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the review. If you like this and want to see more content, make sure to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button to be notified for future content. I will be posting more reviews, more movie talk, more stuff in general. So please stick around, check it out, and have a great day.